Foaming shower oils kind of seem like magic. After all, oil doesn't foam, but foaming shower oil does. Perhaps you've tried mixing oil with a foaming surfactant before, but that didn't turn out anything like L'Occitane's massively popular almond shower oil. So why does theirs kick out oodles of soft, sudsy bubbles while your attempts have been oily, cloudy, and disappointing? In this video, I'm going to reveal the secret behind how big brands make clear shower oils that lather beautifully and share a simple, super customizable 5-ingredient base formula so you can start making foaming shower oils the way the pros do. But before we get into the secret, we've got to look at why things bubble. Most lathering products like shampoos and body washes contain foaming surfactants like sodium cocoyl isethionate and Capryl glucoside, and that's where the bubbles and cleansing power come from. But if you've ever tried combining these surfactants with oil, you will have learned two things. One, they don't really mix in, turning cloudy and then separating or settling out over time. And two, the finished mixture does not lather anything like the commercially made ones do. Bummer. So why does L'Occitane's shower oil lather? They're using a special ingredient that has only just become widely available to home makers. The ingredient is a MIPA or TIPA sulfate, which are different from surfactants like sodium cocoyl isethionate or Capryl glucoside in one really big way. They still foam beautifully in formulations with lots of oil. What we can now purchase blends MIPA laureth sulfate with the emulsifier laureth 4, this ensures the finished product is clear, and propylene glycol, which is a humectant. This product is called LUMOROL K 5229. This bottle is from Yellow Bee in Canada, and I have linked to other suppliers around the world in the free Humble Bee and Me DIY encyclopedia entry on it. So if that's the ingredient, how do we transform LUMOROL K 5229 into a foaming shower oil? Let's start with the oil part. It's easy enough to say oil, but there's one really important thing to keep in mind to ensure this project is budget friendly. Choose inexpensive oils. This is not the place for your super fancy carrier oils. And why? This is a wash-off product. It's on your skin for mere moments before going down the drain. If you do want to include something fancy for a bit of label appeal, keep the usage rates of those fancy things low. If you look at the ingredient list for Glossier's Body Hero Daily Oil Wash, you'll see that most of the oils fall after the fragrance on the ingredient list, which means they're probably used at less than 1% each. I've decided to use a blend of apricot kernel oil, which is about $18 a liter, and medium chain triglycerides, which is about $41.60 a liter, with much more apricot kernel oil since it's the cheaper oil. You'll need 148.5 grams of apricot kernel oil and 42.9 grams medium chain triglycerides for the 330 gram batch we're making today. You can absolutely play with this blend, just try to keep the star oil under $20 a liter. That's roughly $20 a quart for the Americans. I've shared more guidance and ideas for adjusting the oil blend in the free partner blog post linked in the description box below. And now it's time to get bubbly. We know LUMOROL K 5229 brings the bubbles, but how much do we need? I did some experiments to determine how much you need and shared those as an exclusive video on Patreon, so please consider becoming a patron if you want to check those out. I was surprised at how little got the job done, and that is great because this is going to be one of the most expensive ingredients in your formulation. The less we can use to get the job done, the cheaper the finished product. When I made Aromantic's foaming bath oil back in 2021, their formulation called for 58%, but I'm going to use 40% today, which is 132 grams for this batch size. If you want more lather, you can definitely use more, but I'd encourage you to start here and see what you think. It's pretty bubbly, and I think even bubblier than L'Occitane's oil. Now it's time to get a bit fancy. To make the shower oil smell divine, we'll include a bit of fragrance. I'm using 3.3 grams of Midnight Blue Citrus from Yellow Bee, but you could absolutely use something else, including a shower-safe essential oil. I think lavender would be gorgeous. And lastly, 2 strategies keep this shower oil from spoiling. The first thing we'll do is include an antioxidant, so the oils don't go rancid quickly. I'm using 3.3 grams vitamin E. And the second one isn't actually an ingredient, so we'll get to that in a moment. How do we turn all these ingredients into our foaming shower oil? It is super simple. Just combine everything in a beaker, stir until uniform, and bottle it up. This 330 gram batch will fill 3 120 milliliter or 4 fluid ounce bottles. And this is where our second keep it from spoiling strategy comes in. Believe it or not, it's the lid you choose. It is essential you select a lid that won't allow water to get into the bottle when this is used in the shower, because if there's no water in the bottle, we don't need a preservative. L'Occitane uses a disc cap, which is what I've gone with. Glossier uses a pump. Now, all that's left is seeing how well this works. Look at all that lovely lather. Did you happen to notice the handy dispensing caps on my ingredients? If you liked that, then you've got to watch this video next for even more of my top lab tips and tricks.